The Prezi. Okay, I'm going to kick it right off. I have a lot to say, as always. I'm hoping to have some time for Q&A at the end. We'll see how quickly I get through the rest of it. So what we're talking today, like we were saying, we're talking about holiday marketing. And as Carrie pointed out, it's really important that we get ahead of it now because it takes time to plan these things. There's a couple of people here in my campaign boot camp. We've been working at this all summer. This is going to get into the nitty gritty of where we are in terms of the consumer market right now. We've been through some interesting times, and with that comes certain types of energy and psychology. And we're also going to talk about annual trends that happen during the holidays. There's a very distinct emotional attachment that we have to the time of year that's coming up. And that's something we really want to be able to connect with our marketing. And then we're going to have at the end some simple strategies that you're going to be able to use to put together to take in these elements and to really move forward with your marketing over the next 3-4 months and have a really strong presence that really connects with people and can bring in sales and can bring in leads. So that's what we're going to be doing here today. And the first piece I want to give you guys is that really good marketing is not about having a huge budget. This type of strategy we're going to go into today makes all the difference. It's about having the right approach. And the other part is it doesn't have to be icky. Marketing, quite often when we're like, oh, I should market, the biggest resistance we have is because it feels like, oh, I have to go push and persuade and manipulate, and it's super, super icky. And what I want you to think about is, who do you buy from? Are you looking at the social media of the people who make you feel icky? Are you going into the shops of the people who are really pushy and using really manipulative sales tactics? I'm willing to bet chocolate, that's not the case. There is a huge portion of us consumers who are looking for authenticity, and we're looking for really genuine type of marketing that we can see, oh, that seems like my kind of person. That business stands for the type of thing that I stand for. And because this is a growing portion of the consumer market, we are perfectly positioned to tap into them. As long as we can put that out in our marketing and our communication, it gives that portion of the market the option to then shop with us. I know I am constantly scrolling through my social media with an eye out for anything that's local. I just had a little live theater I found out about, and I immediately went and bought 2 tickets. It wasn't the fact that their marketing was super salesy and persuasive. That would not have caught me. It would have given me the ick. And it's the same thing for anybody you're trying to reach. You don't want anyone that's going to react to really pushy, salesy marketing. You want people who are looking for authenticity. So we want to put out authenticity in our marketing. We actually want to stay away from some of those like, buy now, really, really pushy tactics, because they'll push away the people we actually are looking to connect with. So I want you to really know there's a huge segment of consumers who are hungry for this, and we're going to get into the data that shows that. Really, really inspiring kind of stuff. I'm going to keep letting people in here. I have people pop in. I like to start at 10, as some people have pointed. They're like, are you from the military? And my dad was military, so I'm very, very structured. So I start right at 10. I kick off at 10. So for those of you who do not know me, I am Cheyenne. My name is Cheyenne O'Driscoll. I run CEO Marketing. I am a marketing coach and consultant. My little spiel is I work with business owners who are independently owned, small, local, small scale entrepreneurs, and you're hungry to grow. You want to grow online, you want to grow your business, you want to grow your leads or your sales, but you're finding marketing really overwhelming and really icky. Those are my people. That's who I love to serve and who I love to work with. I have one-on-one coaching, I do group programs, and I also do direct services and consulting for businesses. I have been in this game for 5 to 6 years now. I'm trained in marketing. I specialized in digital marketing and branding, and I niched into just local and independent. And through my 6 years working with over 100 local business owners and entrepreneurs, I'm probably up to 150 at this point. I took what I knew in all of the professional parts of marketing, because there's a whole world of marketing, and I created an authentic marketing system. That's all we need as small business owners and entrepreneurs to have sustainable business growth. This is the marketing system you put into place that gives you ROI over the long term. It builds on each other, and it really creates something powerful and robust that supports your business goals. All it takes is 3 parts: your branding, your content marketing, and your conversion funnels. That's all we need for a full system. Helps us get really narrow, really focused, really defined. And if anybody is at the stage where they're still piecing together, you're still bootstrapping, I have a 3-day strategy sprint. Quite a few people have already done it. I'm going to pop some links in the chat here for anybody. I have a couple of different, yes, I am very consistent, but it took me a long time to build that marketing system. I had to really put my brain into it, but it's what makes marketing accessible. For us small business owners, we're solopreneurs. We're DIYing it. We're doing it ourselves. We might have a small team. We might be able to afford with a couple of grants or some profit that we have to contract out pieces of it, but we still need to know how it works as a system. That's what the big guys have over us in an advantage. It's never that their brand is stronger. It's never that their value is higher. It's always just that their marketing is more robust. So I want to give it to us independent people. I also have a weekly newsletter, and I'm going to pop the link for that. So that's one way to connect with me. If you like tips and strategies, that goes out every week. My strategy sprint is completely free. You don't even need to give me your email address. It's up there. The worksheets are up there. It's 3 videos. You will create a micro strategy for those 3 parts of the system. So you will have the foundation of that system, and that will really help you grow in those first couple of years. And then the other thing is I do one-on-one coaching and consulting. I am taking on a couple more clients right now. So I have that space if that's of interest to anybody. So that is me. I got to get back to my slides here. But today we're going to go into the holly jolly vibes. That is our energy today. I almost wore a Christmas shirt. I was considering it. I was almost going to go full in. So this is my upgrade to Prezi, ladies. For anybody who knows my slides, I have figured out how to animate them. This is super fun. Here's what we're going to do today. Our first thing we're going to talk about is the current consumer market conditions. And that's almost like our ingredients. That's what we have to work with right now. And that will change year to year. We have really, really big cycles we go through depending on the economy. But in general, what this looks like this year will be different from next year, knock on wood, and different from 5 years from now. Then we're going to talk about holiday shopping habits. This is like the annual cravings that we get. This stays the same year to year. There's a very specific consumer psychology that happens during the holiday season. And we have a really beautiful, diverse amount of holidays that happen during this time. We have Kwanzaa, we have Hanukkah, we have Christmas, we have Diwali, we have Thanksgiving. But there's a really, solstice is in there too. There's a lot of continuity in the emotions behind it. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And then the third one I'm going to give you is how we take these cravings and we take these ingredients and we use them to make a recipe. We make a really simple marketing strategy out of it. And this is what you want to apply to your marketing over the next 3-4 months to really reach the audience where they are. This will help you stand out in the feed, and it'll help you bring in more sales and more leads. Oops. So I am full out into the holiday vibes. My analogy or metaphor we're going to use here today is about building a holiday feast. My other background is in classical French cuisine, so a lot of my stuff comes down to cooking. There's a beautiful symmetry I'm finding between marketing and cooking. It's trade, it's creative. There's a lot of different aspects to it. So when we put together our holiday marketing, it is like putting together a holiday feast. We don't just start with anything we want, right? It's not going to be the same at this time of year as it would be at another time of the year. We're going to take into account the ingredients we have to work with. There's a reason why in North America, a lot of our side dishes are root vegetables. It's because they're storage vegetables. They're what we would have available in December. So we're going to take into account the economic ingredients we have to work with right now. We're going to talk about the annual cravings. There's a reason we all have certain associations with certain dishes for Christmas. Apple pie, cranberry sauce, turkey. I come from a family with Lebanese immigrants in my background. So if we don't have cabbage rolls and kusa and could be on the table, it's not Christmas because that's our craving. So when we sit down to create a feast or a meal for people, we are taking into account those different elements because we want them to feel satisfied. We want them to really feel, yeah, I know, right? I was hungry making this too. I really want Christmas dinner now. We really want our guests to have their emotional needs met. That's the fun of a feast. And you want to bring that same kind of approach and energy into your marketing. And what that turns into is what recipes you're going to use, which is going to be our strategies. So those are the 3 points that we're going to go over today. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of information. I will send out the replay. So if you're scrambling to write notes, don't worry about it. I do talk very fast. So here's our ingredients, right? We all know we've been through some interesting economic times in the last couple of years, and that creates an impact on the consumer market. Because we're in business, the consumer market hits the shifts first, so they get impacted, and then the way they're behaving then impacts what it looks like for us doing business. There's been multiple factors, especially if you're brick and mortar. There's been a huge increase in expenses. All the business owners I talk to, I know we've all seen it's been harder to bring in sales and it's been harder to bring in leads. And this is where marketing becomes even more important, because good marketing is the way you stand out. There are people spending money, and as the data is going to show us, that is going to increase. So if we want to make sure our business is able to connect with the right people and put our invitations in front of them, marketing is how we do that. When we're in a really expanded economy, it's actually a lot easier to build a business and to run a business because people are spending easier. We're in definitely a restricted economy. Things are loosening up a little bit, which is what we're going to talk about. But marketing is super, super important because those are the ingredients we're working in. It's kind of like we're in winter, right? So we're going to have to use root vegetables. We're not going to be able to put a garden salad on the table because the reality of the ingredients we have from the economy we're working with, this is what it looks like. But what's really beautiful about this is right now I have combed through a whole bunch of reports. I do this constantly. And what the data is showing us is that the current consumer conditions are very positive. We're starting to see an increase in consumer confidence. They are becoming more experience focused, and this has been a compounded thing. People have been heading in this direction a long time, but now it's upticking even more. And they're really looking to support local and small scale. These are beautiful ingredients for us to get to work with, as long as we are putting this in front of our clients and our potential customers. As long as we're really letting them know that in our marketing and communications, it means we can be a match for them. I'm going to go into each of these a little deeper. So I have reports if anybody wants it, but what I really wanted to show you guys is that this is data driven. This is what we are seeing from the data. And anybody who's been in business, you've been told, watch your data. Data is gold. That's where the real stories are. And this is data from across the country. This is really, really big sets of data. So we're seeing really interesting stories with it. It's not every industry. It's not every market. There's a lot of nuances. A lot of businesses I talk to, some of them are like, yeah, it's really picking up. Some of them are like, no, I have not seen an uptick at all. So there's variation in it. But what I want you to understand is that this is, in general, we're seeing an increase in financial optimism. So there's a TransUnion Q2 2024 Consumer Pulse report. It really picked up that there's this increase in financial optimism among Canadians. And what happens is when we have a pessimistic financial outlook, we restrict our spending. Even if we do have disposable income, we tend to focus on just essential items. And that's been really the reality over the last couple of years, which is why a lot of businesses have struggled, because unless you're selling kind of essential stuff, it's been harder to get those sales. People are starting to get more confident, which means that they're expanding their discretionary spending on non-essential items. And us small business owners, we don't tend to be selling essentials. We're not really looking at being commodities. We tend to sell things that improve quality of life. They're really a add-on, which is why sometimes it's even harder as a small scale business provider, because we're not looking at those essential items. But the beautiful thing is there is a whole market segment going into the holiday season. We always see a huge surge in sales in general, but the economic ingredients are supporting this as well. So if you are able to connect with the people who do have discretionary spending, and there's another additional part that comes in after we've been had to be really tight in our budget. We have something called revenge spending, where we kind of go on a little bit of a spree and we're like, oh, those things I couldn't have. So that's headed our way. There are people who are going to be excited that they get to enjoy those kind of extra things. They get to invest in those kind of extra things. And it's because of this return of consumer confidence. It is growing. The data is showing it, which is really nice. I know as small business owners, because there's a lag, it can take longer for us to feel the impact of that. But if we get ahead of it now and we reach the consumers where they are with our marketing, we shorten that lag for ourselves. Shifts to experiences. This has been happening for I think it's probably close to a decade that the business and marketing world have been talking about this. To see that it's still upticking is really, really nice. the RBC Consumer Spending Tracker really highlights that consumers are starting to prioritize spending on experiences over material goods, especially during the holidays. And that's a shift in spending habits. We've all been through some very interesting experiences over the last couple of years, and I think it's really cemented in our psychology how important experiences are over what we have, even more than the culture was headed in general. And the holidays amplifies this even more. So we can find ways to connect what we're offering with the experiential value. And everything that we have that we're giving, it's because it creates some kind of impact on them, whether it's product or service, whether we're running events or we're selling something physical, it's actually about the experience. So this becomes what we want to connect people with. We want them to see and we want them to conceptualize what their experience with our product or service would be. And when we put that front and center, it connects with this ingredient we have where people are shifting to valuing experiences and wanting to buy experiences. Support for local businesses. This makes my local loving heart very, very happy. When our budgets get tight, one of the things the big box stores unfortunately do have over us in compromising quality and sustainability and all those other good values is that they do offer cheaper prices. And when people's budgets are tight, we do shift a little more to the big box stores. Now that we see that growing consumer confidence, the Canadian Chamber of Commerce report really shows that there's a growing trend again back to supporting local and small scale. And here's the key, especially those aligned with sustainability and community values. We have had a very intense lesson in the importance of community and the importance of some of those deeper values over the last couple of years. So this is becoming even more front and center, especially for people that have the economic resources to work with. They are looking to see, how do I put my shopping dollars in a place that this is going to give back in a bigger way? Because at the end of the day, community is what we all have to lean on. So again, aligning with these values, and this is what I love about working with independent businesses and small business owners, it's usually built into how we do business. The reason we do business is because we probably hold a lot of these values ourselves, and there's ways we're doing business that we're not necessarily sharing with our audience, that we are actually embodying these values. So when we recognize this is actually what's going to motivate people's consumer behavior, we can put it into our marketing. Because it becomes less and less about here's the features of the product or service I'm offering and more about a vote. People want to support community. They want to support sustainability, and they use their dollars to help do that and their consumer choices. So those are our ingredients. Those are what we have to work with this year. It will change next year, knock on wood. We are headed into the very, very beginning stages of economic recovery, according to most of the data, which is a really good sign for us small business owners because I know we need it. But what I love about this is I can give you the ability to really get ahead of it and really help it bring into your business so that your business can strengthen back up. Now we have our annual cravings. This you can apply every year. These stay relatively the same. There's a reason the holidays are the holidays. They're based on tradition, which means usually the associated psychology behind them remains pretty stable. We have some nuances that change. Every generation brings a new vibe, but for the most part, these things will apply every single year, and they're good cravings to meet for your audience every year in your marketing, starting in September. I don't know if anybody else has felt it. I'm in holiday vibes. My brain already wants to redecorate my house. I'm done with summer. Emotionally, I am over summer and I'm ready for cozy. I'm ready for all of that experience of the holiday seasons. And a lot of people are going there, which is another point we're actually going to talk on later. So 5 holiday shopping habits. These are the 5 cravings the market tends to have throughout the holiday season, from September into the beginning of January. January, we start to hit the winter months, and that's like a whole other energy that happens there, and we need to market differently once we hit that. But for the most part, these are really core cravings that if we can highlight what we offer that meets these cravings, it's not about manipulating. It's not about trying to contrive and pretend that you do this. There's a lot of options here. You are going to see something that lines up with what you already do and what you already offer. And you just want to put that front and center because this is what people are looking for right now. It's going to be the reality of the next 4 months of the holiday hustle and all the things that come with that. this is what our audiences are going to be craving. Our potential clients and customers are going to be seeking the businesses that can meet these cravings. Increased emotional spending. We tend to be emotional spenders, especially for B2C. B2B is a little more logical, but even that, there's a lot of emotional motivation behind our spending. During the holidays, this amps up to a peak. This is when everything is about how it makes us feel, how we're hoping to make others feel. So during the holidays, consumers are more likely to make purchases driven by emotions, especially nostalgia. It's one of my most favorite parts of the holidays. It's what makes it feel so homey and cozy. That feeling, it's called nostalgia, and it is a super, super amazing marketing tactic. You really, really want to tap into that. And it feels really good on our end too. Any type of marketing that we can make that feels good for us, it's going to transfer that feeling to most of our audience, especially the ones that are the right fit. So nostalgia, love, relationship, connections, that like sense of giving to people we love, and the desire to create joyful experiences for ourselves and for others. You'll see the experiences are in here again. There's quite a few trends. There's a lot of continuity between this because that's how it works. That's how you know it's legit, because it's threading throughout multiple layers. So when we tap into the emotional aspect of this, it becomes again about more than just our product and service. And during the summer, it's like adventure outside, summer sun fun. It's a different kind of emotion than people are seeking during the holidays. It's about memories and nostalgia. I'm a 90s kid. I love anything that has to do with the 90s because it brings up nostalgia for me. Christmas is the same way. You want to connect to a sense of nostalgia, love, relationship. Community is another point we're going to get into, and that joyfulness of the holidays. You really want to bring that into your marketing, because if you can connect to your audience with those emotions in your content, it leads them into your shop. It leads them into becoming a client, because there's ways for them, even if you don't have something that's specifically holiday based, and we're going to get into that the last part, there's ways to still connect to the emotional experience they're having. It doesn't have to be that everything is based on the holidays if you can connect to the emotions. Desire for convenience. Not one of the biggest consumer market segment we have in Canada is millennials. Many of them are in the family stage. Many of them are very, 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 very busy parents. I would be one of them. They need convenience. So especially during the holiday hustle, there's a lot of demands on our time. So people have busy schedules and there's a lot of pressure for holiday preparations. Consumers are going to seek out convenient shopping options. So if you have online shopping, quick delivery, easy to purchase bundles, if you can wrap things up as a gift so they don't have to worry about it. You can even bring this further. You can get creative with this. I have a client that's down the road from me that has this really amazing retail shop with locally sourced foods, and she has freezer meals that are made at a local farm. That can be tied into this need for convenience. Super busy during the holiday season doing holiday shopping, you can still grab one of these meals, pop it in the oven. It's made with locally sourced ingredients. It's high quality, high value for people, but it still gives you convenience. So we do not need to be holiday based. We just want to tap into the cravings people are having in the ways we are a fit, right? We're not going to try and earmark ourselves into something or shoehorn ourselves into something that isn't genuine or authentic. But there's such a range here that we can find ways to connect what we're doing with what people are craving right now. Or they will be. Right now, everyone's just craving school to start. Or maybe that's just me. Early shopping trends. This is why I'm doing this on August 22nd. People are starting to shop really early. Many consumers will start their holiday shopping earlier in the season. And the reason behind this is that we have some concerns around product availability, shipping times, and still spreading out our expenses, because most of us are still in an economic situation where we're not in this huge expansion. So we are being considerate about knowing that the holidays are coming and spreading out our expenses. I have bought a couple of Christmas gifts already. I am definitely in this market segment. So this is really beautiful, because if you are now already thinking about the holidays and you start talking to your customers, you're going to catch these people. If you're not, they are going to shop elsewhere. But if you start talking, like Carrie mentioned, yeah, here Cheyenne is talking about Christmas, and I saw another holiday thing. Those of us who hop on early, we catch the other people who are thinking early. And there's a lot of people who are going to start spending their holiday dollars in the next, like they're going to start in the next week or two. So if we can start meeting them where they are, we get to connect with that market segment rather than another business. There's a reason Michael's is already covered in Christmas stuff and Halloween is dominating Walmart, because they have recognized this market is out there purchasing now. So we can do that too. And we can do it from a much higher value, much more authentic, genuine space. Again, we are focusing on experience over material goods. I love this one, not just because of those who run events or experiential items, but you can tie what you're doing, what you're offering people into the experience of it. That's something I talk a lot about in the benefits ladder. We should not be talking just about the features of our product or service. We should really be talking about the other levels of benefits that come from purchasing and using them. So there's a growing trend around consumers valuing experiences over material goods. And that's going to lead to an increased spending on things like travel, dining, event-related activities during the holiday. Even if this does not line up for you, Tina does these really beautiful craft kits and craft patterns. That's an experience, sitting around either with like a cup of hot chocolate and the fire going and sitting there and having a crafting day to yourself. That's an experience. Maybe what you offer helps women ground themselves and stay less in the holiday frazzle and more centered. That changes their experience of the holiday. Maybe something you do, crafternoon. Oh my gosh, I used to do craft parties in college. It was my favorite thing ever. I had the best group of college friends. Maybe you give people something that saves them time and that gives them more time for holiday experiences. Maybe you help them connect to childhood joy, and you can help them connect to the experience of being a child during Christmas, right? There's lots of ways to consider this, even if we're not offering something like travel or dining. There's ways to put that part of the benefit of our product or service front and center. Community and ethical considerations. This makes my local consumer heart so happy, knowing that this is still building up, even through all the difficulties we're going through, knowing that people are still keeping this top in mind. It reinforces my own belief that this is what we're all really deeply craving. At the core of it, this is what we want. Consumers are increasingly mindful of supporting local businesses, ethical brands, and products that align with their values, such as sustainability during the holiday season. We all know we're going to spend money. Some of us are brave and trying to cut back on that. I try every year. I never can. But a lot of us are choosing them. Well, if I'm going to be spending money, I want to spend it in a way that I feel like I'm investing it. I'm not just buying something for the sake of buying it. I really want to be a conscious consumer. This is a huge growing market. And especially during the holiday season, those who do have discretionary money to spend, this is where they're looking to spend it. And I know most small business owners and most small scale entrepreneurs, there's values behind your brand. There's values behind the where you source your products. There's values behind the services you offer. So this is a really great time to bring that front and center into your messaging so that people have a chance to connect purchasing from you with those type of values. Quite often, we don't put it in front of our audience enough. I've worked with a lot of real estate agents, surprisingly, are notorious for this. I will go in and they will be doing all of this amazing community service where they're funding local kids' baseball teams, all of these really beautiful things, but then they don't want to put it on their social media because it feels like bragging. But I always help people reframe it. If your audience doesn't know, you're denying them the opportunity to purchase from a business that is contributing to their community because they're not aware. If you give them the full information and allow them to make that decision, it means they get to be informed consumers, because Walmart is not going to be shy about blaring whatever form of community support they've decided they're doing. They're going to just bombard us with that messaging. So anything that we're doing that gives back to the community, that has ethical value behind it, we really want to help people be aware of it so they can make informed decisions. We don't want to hide it. It's not bragging. I actually see it's a form of respect to our audience. If we as businesses have any gripe around, well, why do people buy big box stores? We have an obligation to make sure we're giving them the information they need to know the impact we're making, to really be mindful that we do have these type of activities going on in our business. We're sourcing things ethically. Whatever it is that we're doing, we want to be able to give the audience the opportunity to meet that craving with us. So those are the big 5 cravings that happen. And it pretty much goes across, there's nuances to the different cultures and the different holidays. You want to know your audience. You want to know the history behind the holidays. But in general, this is where the consumer market is going to be. This is what they're going to be looking for over the next 4 months. Towards the tail end of December, we're all just hoping to get over and done with. But especially gearing up into the middle of September, and then we kick off into Thanksgiving and October and Halloween and all that. This is 100% where people are going to be. They're going to want to spend money emotionally, especially connecting to nostalgia. They're going to look for convenience because they're going to be juggling a lot of stuff, especially that big consumer market of families and millennials. They spend the most money, and it's usually the main purchaser in the household tends to statistically be the mom. So it's a lot of women doing purchasing. So anything you can do that helps shows that you can take a little bit of their load off, that makes you a really, really appealing place to go. Even if you're offering something like coaching or counseling, highlight the fact that it's on Zoom and that they can schedule it around their busy holidays, right? You can really bring that part into it. You can find ways, if you think outside of the box and really sit in their perspective, find ways that it brings convenience into their lives. Early shopping, if you can get off this webinar and get your mind into your holiday promos and really think ahead, you'll capture that market and you'll be doing them a service. So I struggle to find small business owners that I can Christmas shop at because I'm starting now. I am not going to wait. I have waited before to the last week in November, and then I blink and it's Christmas Day and I'm like completely overwhelmed. So I have learned my lesson, and now I scout out the businesses that I know that the things they offer every day I could use as a Christmas gift. But I'm already hungry for Christmas decorations. I just bought Halloween ghosts from Tina. Like, I am looking for this stuff now. So the more local businesses and small scale entrepreneurs and service people can put it out, now the better. My campaign boot camp, we've been working all summer. We're going to launch in September, and they're going to be getting in front of their audience with things that are geared towards the seasonal energy that's about to come. So experience focused, again, it doesn't mean you need to be selling an experience to tap into this craving. You want to position the product and service you do offer around the experience it gives people, either what it facilitates them doing. If you sell like a mug, I have a thing for handmade mugs, right? It's that idea of filling it with a hot cup of cocoa and sitting down with your kids and reading a Christmas story. If you're offering services that support people, it's that sense of being more grounded and mindful, right? There's lots of ways to tap into the experience focus. And community minded. We have a leg up just on the fact that we're small scale and we're local and we're entrepreneurs. We already are members of the community in a way a big box store could never be. They'll try. They will try really, really hard to position themselves as that, but we all smell the ick behind it. We are lucky in that we already have this to leverage. So sharing that part of ourselves and not trying to match the big box stores, we really want to position the fact that we're small scale, that we're community minded, that we have ethical practices, and that we have values behind what we're doing. We really want to bring that front and center because it's actually a really huge advantage at this time of year. It's a huge advantage in general, but this time of year, it's even stronger. Shop local during the holiday season. It's probably one of the easiest time for local and small scale. Oh, here's another thing. So think of creative ways to package things up, and we'll get into this when we talk about our recipes for success. I just had a meeting with my local museum, and we were talking about one of the goals is to bring in more sponsors and funding. So immediately I said, we've got Christmas coming up. They have a new exhibit for the high Arctic. So I like, get polar bear stuffies, put 2 tickets for admin, package it up as a Christmas gift, and people will buy this to give to someone else for them to be a recognized sponsor of the museum. That's an experience that you've now turned into a Christmas gift. So there's really creative ways that you can do this. And people, especially people who have discretionary income, they don't want more things, But if you can package up something that's tangible to give as a Christmas gift, that's also giving back to the community, just a little card that recognizes them as a giver, that is a really great gift for people who have income to give somebody else that feels good on all sides. It becomes such a win-win that it becomes something people who don't want to have to buy more stuff or spend money for the sake of spending money, that's a gift they'll gravitate to because it supports their community and gives them something tangible. So it's convenient. They don't have to do anything. You package it up real pretty, just go to the craft store, make it pretty, and it becomes a gift that they just get to buy, walk off, and hand out. Really, really easy. So recipes for success. Taking into account these cravings, these 5 cravings that our consumers are going to have over the next 4 months, and the ingredients we have to work with and the economic situation we're in, we now put together recipes for success. I really love these. These images were fun. This is what I stayed up last night making, or these images. So we're going to go through 3 simple holiday marketing strategies, and I'm going to give you different ideas for each. There's going to be something in here that will pop out to you that you're like, that feels like a fit. Do not try to use them all. You do not need to. Using 2 or 3, combining them in creative ways that feel really authentic and really genuine, that's what you want to do. So our first one is going to be about being topical. I talk to my my program people about this a lot. This is about speaking to where people are right now. Communicating emotional value, that emotion of nostalgia and love and joy is the most beautiful part of the holiday season, and we want to tap into it. We want to meet people where they are. Even bringing that into our content makes people want to watch and read our content because we're resonating with the energy they're looking for. And then creating exciting and special opportunities. The holidays are a special time of year. That's what makes them the holidays. If we can, we want to find a way to connect to that. We don't want to run just what we always run, which is, again, in my campaign bootcamp, most of my members, we talked about packaging things up a little differently so it can be special for the holidays. You don't have to do a whole rework, but if you can create something that's special, that will help you work with the market where they are right now. So being topical. What we're going to cover here is festive branding. I love this. It just makes me happy. Seasonal packaging and holiday theme promos. I know for a lot of people, promos are a hard one, but you don't have to reduce price. You can add things on as well. You can add bonuses rather than reducing your price. I know sometimes for us, that's a hard one. So for festive branding, you can update your website, your social media, your packaging with holiday themed visuals to create a festive atmosphere. This is really fun. And it's really quick and easy to do. I added a little holly to my my webinar graphic. Just bringing that piece in, it shows you're part of the holiday vibe. It really helps people connect with you. If you look the same in December as you would look in April, there's no reason for people to pay attention because they're in December mode. They know they can come back in April and you'll be the same. Whereas if you're dynamic and you're with them in that energy, you're now part of their community. Right? They want to experience, well, what is this person doing in December? What are they doing in November? Because that's going to be different from what they're doing in April. Seasonal packaging. If you do have a product or you can kind of wrap your service up in different things, but offering special holiday packaging or gift wrapping, anytime you can make something into a gift for them, you have now layered convenience on as well. It makes them more appealing as a gift, and it just makes people feel people will be shopping for holiday stuff. They will not want to shop for non-holiday stuff. We will if it's something that we have to buy because it's an essential or it's just something we absolutely need right now. But in general, we are going to earmark most of our spending for holiday things. When we package it up, I have another client who's a tea lady, Kyra, she's awesome. She does a brilliant job of this. She takes the same teas, but she just packages them up for the season, and they're fun and they're cute and people love them. That little bit of a shift means you're meeting the market where they are. You're staying topical to them. Holiday themes promos, creating holiday specific promotions or discounts that tie into the season. 12 days of deals, new year, new you. That's when we do at the gym. It's the only time of the year my gym client actually runs a promo is new year, new you. If you can, I know a lot of us do not like running promos, but you can also do like 12 days of bonuses or something along those lines. You can even just change it to a content campaign where it's 12 days of, and you're giving just valuable information. If you're a coach or something, you don't have to reduce your pricing, but using these 12 days it's a fun way to stay into the theme of Christmas or the holidays in general. There's all kinds of different themes we have going on. To communicate our emotional value, we can tap into nostalgia marketing, which I love, community and relationship messaging, and storytelling. I know Carrie is our storyteller genius. It's always a smart vibe to go with. Christmas is just like so much better. It's accessible. It's a great way to connect with our audience personally. So nostalgia marketing, we can tap into the power of nostalgia by highlighting how your products or services can bring back cherished memories or create new ones, right? So even for the museum piece, you can think ahead. They get a lot of grandparents. So you can even build into that the idea of looking ahead and taking your grandkids to the museum and spending the day with them. That's a memory that's being built. You can look back. You can share your own personal holiday stories. This is a really nice one to create a personal connection with your audience, especially if you're community-based. For me, I've lived in Trenton off and on most of my life. So I still remember going to the same Santa Claus parade in like the early 90s. And that's a beautiful form of nostalgia. Some of the floats are the exact same, actually. So it's a beautiful form of nostalgia, but it also creates that community connection, right? So you can really layer this on. Again, anything you have that's cozy is an easy way to connect with creating holiday memories, because we really associate the holidays with being at home and being cozy or going out and celebrating. Lots of opportunities there. Community and relationships. People are looking for this. We've all been hungry for it. It's kind of the state we're in. And fortunately, with this bit of expansion we're going into, people are actively looking for ways to reinforce this now. So emphasizing the importance of relationship and community in your marketing, it positions your brand as a way to bring people together during the holidays. If it's something you genuinely believe in and embody, which I'm willing to bet almost everybody does, bring it into your communication, bring it into your marketing, show it, don't tell it. Carrie is like a shoo-in for this. This is what Carrie does. She builds community and she helps people create relationships. We can really tap into this on multiple layers. So sit with it, let your brain percolate, and you'll start to see ways that what you offer really supports the building of relationships and community. And then think of ways you can show people that with your marketing. It's never about telling. It's always stronger if we can show it, if we can give them the experience of seeing it for themselves rather than us telling them. Storytelling, sharing really heartfelt stories related to the holiday season. This is where we can get a little mushy. The holidays are meant to be mushy. You can use customer testimonials, excuse me, your own brand stories, which is your personal stories. Anything that will help connect your products or services to holiday traditions are really, really powerful. Even just sharing your own personal experience for the holidays in a way that will be relevant to your audience, it's a great piece to bring out to really help people understand. For me, I'm a mom. Any other moms that are in the busy, like getting ready for the holiday thing and a business owner, that's something I can relate to with people, which is one of the reasons I'm running this so early. Because if we're going into this holiday prep season as business owners and moms, we're juggling a few different things. So I can connect with that type of story with my audience. Really, again, I like this one because you can get personal. And as small business owners, we tap into that craving for connection and community by sharing ourselves personally. It's something the big box stores just can't do. They'll try and put like their little, their face of one of their employees, but it's not the same. We have that power. It's something we really want to leverage. And our final one, this is fun, creating excitement and special opportunities. The holidays are fun. They're joyful. They're a special time of year. We want to have fun with it. And again, if we're not running something special during the holidays, we will probably not be paid much attention to. People are so busy doing holiday things during the holidays. Anything that will be available in April, they will just put to the side of their mind and be like, I will come back to that in April, which is why one of the things we do want to develop, if it's a fit for us, is limited time specials, exclusive holiday collections. I love this one. It's a lot of fun if you have any creativity. Tina's got this locked in. Tina's got all kinds of holiday specials. Her collections are absolutely gorgeous. Anybody needs to check her out. I would buy your whole store, Tina. And then countdowns to the holidays. This is such an easy one. There are so many countdowns you can do, but tapping into that fun, like how many sleeps till Christmas, right? It's nostalgia, it's emotional, it's community. We're sharing a very unique experience during the holidays. where we have all of these different special occasions that we're sharing. Tapping into that in our marketing and with our business brings us into that sense of community. So time-limited special offers, we can introduce limited time promotions that offer customers a unique opportunity to enjoy special savings or benefits. It does not have to be a savings. You can just add something extra on top if you want to use it that way, because you don't want to discount your price. That happens quite a bit. I know with us small business owners, our margins are usually not that big anyway. So we're like, I don't want to discount, but we can add something special as a limited time bonus. Collections, exclusive holiday collections, launching exclusive holiday themed product or services. It just taps into that special feeling of the season. It makes your customers feel like they're part of something unique and festive. And that is really what people are looking for during the holiday season. They don't want to buy something that they could buy in June anyways, right? It's really, really about connecting with them and respecting the fact that they're all about the holidays. So the more we can do that, the more sales and leads we'll be able to bring in, because that's where consumer behavior is right now. It's where purchasing behavior is, or it will be in the next couple of weeks, rather. Countdown to the holidays, really fun. You just get to build excitement with countdowns to key holiday dates, offering fun reminders and special surprises that add joy to the holidays. If it makes you feel joyful, that's a good way to go with it. Just bring some joy to your marketing, some joy to your clients and customers. Tap into that energy. Have a fun little countdown. I like to do so many sleeps because I'm a mom and that's still the expressions we use. And it's nostalgic, right? It just really taps into the fun of it. Think of something fun that you can do that you would enjoy doing that provides value to your audience, and just wrap it up in a holiday theme by doing the countdown. Really, really simple, but that type of thing is going to help you stand out in the feed. It's going to help people feel like you're connected to them, and it's going to help you feel relevant to them so that the product or service that you're offering them is in their minds rather than you being completely looked over because they're focused on everybody that has the holiday stuff going on. So those are our 3 simple holiday marketing strategies. I will be able to round this up, have some Q&A. Being topical, doing things like just throwing up a cute little banner on Facebook, just bringing in a little bit of holiday vibes into our newsletter, that type of thing. Communicating emotional value, really connecting to that desire for connection and nostalgia with people, and creating excitement and special opportunities. Doing fun little countdowns, fun little promos, that type of thing. It is amazing how powerful this can be. This is the difference between marketing where you're like, I built this really amazing thing, or I have this really amazing product and service. I just don't feel like people are buying it. This is what changes that to you have people coming in. This is the big difference. Marketing is the bridge we all need. So quite often it can feel like we have to do it in a way that's icky or inauthentic, and we block ourselves from doing it because of that. When we have fun with it while meeting the market with their cravings and taking into account the ingredients we have, it really draws in the right fit people. And that's when things start to flow for us, for our business, and we can give people that amazing product or service that we have. We're able to bring them into us. Quick recap. So we went over current consumer market conditions, our ingredients. We did our holiday shopping habits, which is what people are craving. And we've got our 3 simple marketing strategies. So you can combine these now, and you can look ahead to how you're going to market and communicate and promote your products and services over the next 3-4 months. And you can put it together in a way that's going to really, really speak to people, and it's going to really connect with people, and it's going to stand out in the feeds. People are going to love the energy behind this, and that will help bring you more sales and more leads. And that's me. That is my thing. If anybody has any questions, I will open that up. My links are up there for anybody who's not connected to me yet and would like to do so. Any questions? I will close this down. If not, that's okay. I'll do a quick read of the chat too. So many buttons. Here's my app. There we go. Dun, dun, dun. Close my app. If anybody has any questions, I want to throw it into the chat. I'm getting hungry. Holiday craft afternoon party. I love crafting. Tina makes me want to craft so much. Tina has the really beautiful crafts and patterns that really inspire me. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Christine. Okay, it looks like we're good. No questions. If anybody ever has any, you know how to reach me. My email is there. Well, thanks, Carrie. Yeah, hop on my email newsletter. I always announce when my next webinars are there. Thanks, Tina. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Okay, I'll leave you guys to go start working on Christmas. Happy holidays, guys. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.